everyone, and welcome to Stella's Intuitive Chamber. I'm back after 6 days, and I'm so excited to be able to make this video. I couldn't wait to do this video, honestly. Let me light up some Palo Santo. This week was very, very, very intense. I mean, which week isn't intense lately, right? But this week was very intense because there was there is a still. I believe the full moon lasts up to 3 days sometimes. The effects last even longer for an entire month, sometimes until the next new moon. So I need a lot of cleansing, and I will shortly explain why. So the full moon in Virgo is connected. So Virgo itself is connected to the themes of romance and love and beauty and balance and harmony. So it's obviously the full moon is illuminating these parts of life that, especially because it's in opposition to Chiron and the sun. It was in opposition to Chiron and the sun. So it's like really, really illuminating. What was I going to say? Illuminating the parts of life that we so desperately need to heal. And I feel in this case is our love department. There is like a lot of people struggling to meet their soulmate. There's people not meeting their soulmate, for example, because they have a lot of unhealed issues going on. They keep attracting these partners that are good for nothing, and they stray them away from their true path, or they make them very inauthentic, and dark stuff come out, bad stuff come out, and it's just like a cat and mouse kind of game that just makes no sense. It's because we're not with the person we are meant to be with, for example, and that's why these things happens. Like, like relationships aren't easy, and they're like hard work. But when you're not meant to be with someone, it's like it feels like a burden almost. And speaking of that, I bought a new tarot deck today because I felt like, oh, I needed. Actually, I generally use Londa Tarot, but I'm kind of like, I feel there's a lot of energy because it went through a lot of hands, when I was doing readings to people. But right now, I just bought a new deck today. I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna pamper myself. I spent the whole day with myself, and I did some nice things. I pampered myself with a nice poster behind there. Like purple is really my color, as the color that I use to kind of bring up healing and protection. And with the new they're the traditional Rider Waite Smith tarot cards. They're very traditional, but like with the true, well, today the moon is in Scorpio, which is no surprise to why I'm doing this video right now. But it's beautiful how the moon in Libra energy kind of, because it happened in my 7th house, and all the focus that I had on like interpersonal relationships or like others, I kind of just directed towards myself. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a day for me, and a day for me to pamper myself. And I got some crystals, I got some selenite, I got some shungite, which is excellent for radiation and for clearing toxins and bacteria, and for like it's one of the strongest crystals, and it's like it overpowers all of the crystals you have, and it's very good for radiation. Sometimes like being a sensitive, like extreme sensitive myself, I am extremely sensitive to radiation and to electromagnetic field. I feel like if I spend, for example, like a 9 to 5 job, thank God I don't do this anymore, but one of those kinds of jobs that you have these like lights flickering under you all day long, and you have to stare at a computer all day long. But like, my God, I just become so tired. I can't even function. Like, honestly, I don't know how people still function after being in front of a computer all day. I just go nuts, that's why I need to get out a lot, several times a day, or just have a big walk outside once a day, and just keep my shungite in my pocket or close to me, so it kind of annuls the radiation and an electromagnetic field. So I bought selenite, I got some nice shungite. I actually got, well, there's the tourmaline for protection, and now I'm going to get that in a second. I feel like there's been some interference in my energy, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some tourmaline. I got some bloodstone, which is great for your like creative self-expression. It's something that I really need in this video. And I've cleansed my new tarot cards, and I already opened them up, and it's like, even if you cleanse them, it's still like showing what I feel, which is interesting because they're so good at communicating with me, you see. Anyway, the effects of the full moon is enlightening. It's enlightening the areas of your life that you need to heal. And I'm telling you, like, you really need to heal this, because it's like there was an opposition, obviously. Well, obviously in the full moon there it always happens. There's an opposition between the sun and the moon, but this area of life is illuminating your romantic department. This is why I'm going to make this video about soulmates and karmic relationships. I feel like there's a lot of people who get lost with dating, for example. It's because you're not with the person you're meant to be with. You know, this is the kind of message that's coming through. There could be a match made in heaven, but you're supposed to, how will I say this so it doesn't sound awkward? Like, you really need to you need to open up the space for this person to come into your life. And sometimes making space also means that you need to get rid of old habits, bad habits, of things holding you back, things holding you down, triggers, childhood wounds, family wounds, everything, karma, cords, all that big pile of crap, has to be healed in order for this person to come in. Like, it's literally like I keep hearing that you need to step into your power fully, and you need to become authentic in who you are and what you do. And that's where you start attracting people that are more like you. They're more attuned to what you do, if you know what I mean. They're more like I feel like there has to be a hobby, or there has to be something you really like doing, and you have to like get close to that so you can attract this one person. I feel like a lot of people, especially Aries and Libras right now, and I feel also Cancers, and let me have a look here, could also be a Capricorn. So like cardinal signs are going to be very affected. I mean, I kept naming them. It's just like I could have just said they're cardinal signs, but they're going to be very affected by this full moon, and it's the love department that's in question here. So there, I don't know, like times are very strange at the moment, and life is too short. You know what I mean. If we go on throughout our whole lives not having met the one person that our match made in heaven, then in a way it's how will I say this, like, in a way it's okay to be alone. It's okay to not walk that path of partnership, but I feel like it would make a lot of people very lonely when there's always that one person out there for you. The world is huge, the world is enormous, and it would be a shame if that never happened in this life, which I'm not saying that always has to happen, and then unfortunately sometimes just doesn't happen. But I feel this is right for you. I feel that this is meant to happen. I feel like a lot of people in this week, like they really like got closer to the feeling like they're gonna meet their soulmate, or they met their soulmate, or as well with this full moon in Virgo, which is was opposed Chiron in Aries. So there was a situation, and I pulled a tarot card because of that. There was a situation where you feel trapped, the Eight of Swords. Like, you feel trapped and you feel like there's nowhere to go, because that's it for yourself. That's it. You're trapped in this relationship. You're trapped in this interpersonal relationship. Just is holding you down from everything you're meant to be. Your whole self is just very, very suppressed, and you feel tied and you feel like you can't move because I think this is a woman, but she thinks she can't move, but actually little does she know she is the only one who can pull herself out of this situation. You know, she can pull herself out of the situation, and there's going to be a time of fatigue, of lack of energy, because this relationship is going to make you very tired. It's going to drain all of your energy if it's not right for you. Like this is in the case where this is not right for you. And it's making you really tired, and it's making you very drained, and you're like, but you just kind of like, and you kind of think, because this man has had a lot of battles and a lot of conflicts, and now he's like, you know, okay, hopefully this is the end of it now, but you have to take action, because the wands are about action. And I feel like if this happens, there's another message that came through here. So this is the card of walking away. This is the card of moving forward, moving on, going somewhere. Perhaps you just need to let go of what doesn't work and move on. Or move somewhere, move to a place you always wanted to move to. Go somewhere where you always wanted to go. Go to the yoga retreat you always wanted to go to. Just go. Just do what feels right for you. Because it makes no sense if you don't do what's right for you. And there's walking away. There's a situation of like disappointment, emotional disappointment, of walking away, because like it's basically you give up on this because like you've had enough, And then when you move away from that, and it's like, you see, you need to free yourself from that. Because if you can't free yourself from that, then what follows is like pity, what follows is like you're getting breadcrumbs, basically, and you feel like you're happy, but you're not. If the other scenario, you move on from this situation that no longer works for you, there is a whole new romantic relationship that shows up, like a soulmate. This is like, and I use the words that my healer used last week. It's like match made in heaven. It's like perfect, it's perfect for each other. This could be a person that is like youthful, or a young soul of a Cancer, Scorpio, or have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or can be a person that has those qualities of those water signs, that is very deeply emotional and very romantic, and maybe has a musical side of them, something creative that they do, or they're just generally very emotionally available and very, very emotional and very kind. But this is also a person that is a bit, that is very young. It's very young at what they start. They're not yet so self-aware. So they might be at the very beginning of some of their own path, And I can see here that there's like that they struggle a lot in the beginning. They not that they struggle a lot. They are actually, I feel they're very giving, and they're very I feel they have like a heart of gold. This person that you could end up with in the next couple of weeks or months could be working in like a healthcare service, or could be working in a service that like has to do with like caregiving, or taking care of someone, or doing healing, or like giving other people some sort of care of some sort, or like looking after them. Because the best feeling ever in the world in the partnership, I think, is like looking after each other, being like eye to eye, kind of having this like perfectly equal partnership, And also, not only the romantic department here, but there's also like a very, very defined sense of self, like living to our authenticity, living to who we are, and embracing who we are, and finding someone who is okay with who we are and what we do, and someone who is willing to really walk our path, whatever our path is. It's really important that you align with the soulmate in the next couple of months. It might not just happen straight away, but I feel the need to tell you that you need to do a ritual. You need to call upon your soulmate, and you need to let your soulmate find you in a way. Like, I mean, you need to find each other, but this is a very karmic soulmate. This is like the right one for you, and I feel like it's calling you to find this person, not to like go there and seek and hope every person that walks by is your soulmate, but like really kind of like, you know, because if you were born with your life partner, and you know, obviously it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes we have to wait years and years and years and years, you know. It happens eventually though. But sometimes when you, with your intentions, you can kind of pull the cord towards you. You know, you can pull it closer and closer and closer and closer. And maybe not too long has to go by before this person enters in, like comes into your life. And I think it's very exciting, and I really encourage people to do a lot of rituals surrounding their karmic soulmate, but they're good karmic soulmate. Now, we have karmic relationships that go very wrong. We have karmic relationships that just are not good for us, but they teach us very valuable lessons. And as once someone said, and I can't remember who said it, I'm sorry, but not every soulmate is good. Like, not every soulmate is meant to stay in our life. Of course, there's different kinds of soulmates. I'm talking about the pure, the positive sort of soulmate kind of energy. But that will happen, but you need to bring a lot of healing into your life. Like, you literally have to not only like, oh, I need to work really hard to heal this, oh my god, not freaking out even more about your healing, just like sitting back, enjoying the ride, and just being like, you know, opening up your heart, just bringing to the healing, or like buy some nice nice, oh my god, like nice selenite to just purify and cleanse. And just as well, I wanted to talk about living your authentic life. For example, more and more and more, I lately have been aligning with my own kind of life path. I'm on this spiritual path right now, and it's only the beginning, and I know, and there's many things I still have to learn and I have to discover, and it's making me excited either way. And I feel like I'm aligned now with the return of my North Node in Scorpio in its in the sign of my own North Node in Scorpio. So I feel like my soul path has, like, my soul destiny or my soul path has finally aligned in a way. And I feel at the same time like I'm on this path, right? And when you're on this path, there's a lot of, as my healer also said, there's gonna be a lot of noise around you. There's gonna be a lot of people who will try to discourage you from doing what you're doing right now. For example, like I had a person, but that happened kind of like long ago, but at the beginning of my astrology journey or my social media journey or whatever, I had this person telling me that this person saw God, and God told this person that I shouldn't do astrology because it's bad for me, but then this same person continues doing astrology herself. So in a way, it's like, okay, well, God tells me I can't do something, but you're perfectly okay to do something. You know, like, this is noise. This is just pure noise, you know, trying to divert you from your soul path. And in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think that my mother told me about it. I haven't read, like, my mother is very good with, she read a lot of books. She's a bookworm. And she must have read the Book of the Dead, and she told me that there was a chapter where they describe death, and they describe going into death, going through the tunnel, and obviously you're going towards the light, and on the way you see a lot of demons and a lot of like the kind of noise I'm talking about, and it's trying to distract you from not going towards the light. So something like, if you're on your true path or you're doing what you're meant to do, there's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of people who don't want you to do it, who hate you for it, who are going to literally try to do anything to not see you succeed or not see you like happy in your soul calling or your soul path. Literally, they'll do anything. They will abuse you. They will make fun of you. They will tell you you're not good enough. They will. But it's like, as long as you keep believing, and because it has to feel right for you. If it doesn't feel right, if it's just ego, then obviously time will show itself, you know. But in this case, like, you know, going back to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, like, you go through this tunnel, you go towards the light, basically, and there's going to be demons that will try to keep you in this plane. So you never leave, and so you become this wretched spirit that's trapped in this dimension. And it's basically like death, you know, like it's worse than death, actually. It's pure hell, actually. So one of the things that when you go through that tunnel through death, like, you have to realize they're just like noise, and not to take them seriously, not to look at them, and just go through that like tunnel and just move towards the light. so your soul can become fully enlightened and can move on properly to the other side, you know. I wonder if that really happens. I mean, it does kind of make a lot of sense. Like in my life currently, I feel like there's a lot of noise. There's so many people talking, and you know, there's so many. It's just like, you know, I just kind of have to sit back and enjoy the ride and just not pay attention, put on my headphones and not pay attention to that endless noise, you know. And because it feels right, you know, it feels right for me to do this, and I'm happy. I'm so happy that I'm actually so happy I can do this video and I can talk about this stuff, because, you know, my whole life I felt when I tried to talk about this stuff I would get shut down and like, oh, shut up, you weirdo, or you crazy, tinfoil, whatever. But it just makes me happy that today we have the freedom to do such videos, and we have the freedom to talk about it, and we have the freedom to be who we want to be, as long as these are within the limits of normal, of course, and not to go. No, you know, I'm not gonna get into that subject now, because it could be quite troublesome if I start with that. But anyway, so get yourself a nice selenite, or even if you're not into crystals, that's okay. You can always find different ways of healing that, because like I feel like you really need to heal these wounds. It's almost like the spirit guide saying like, come on, you know, come on, you deserve that someone, you know. You're just like, you're so close but you're so far away, you know, like you really really need to meet this person. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen if you sit and think you're trapped and you don't change anything. Because change becomes when you change something. For example, if I tomorrow decided to move to another city, and like I'm available, blah blah blah, whatever, and then I kind of automatically open up myself for new opportunities, because you've set this action in motion. You know, you've set your life in motion, so you open up yourself for things happening in your life. So this is very like this is going to be very very pronounced for Libras and Aries in particular, but they really need, like, almost like they're gonna heal each other as well. Like, even if this soulmate comes and maybe it's not for you, for example, but it's going to bring a lot of healing, but it also could also like really 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 trigger the deepest and darkest stuff about you, you know. Someone there is very wounded, for example. So watch out for that, because it's not all rainbows and flowers, at least not with me, not with my readings. But I'm feeling really good when I say that there is someone out there for you, and it's meant for you, and it would be a shame if you didn't meet this person. That's why you just have to pull the energetical cord and do your rituals, and you have to really attract this person. It will feel right then, for sure. I feel like a lot of Aries have met their soulmates right now, so congratulations. And they're in the little love nest. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Like, love makes everything better. Love is the best feeling ever. And there's nothing better when there's someone so aligned with you that it just feels right from like the whole connection just feels beautiful and just feels right and feels like it's meant to be, you know. There's nothing more beautiful than that. Is there anything? Yes. So as we know, Pluto has moved into the sign of Aquarius, but I'm probably gonna like make another video about that, because it's a generational, like a world thing, so it would be way too generalized. I could try and see how that could have affected science, for example, but in this case, I'm just going to say that I'm going to leave this for another video. Mars has entered in Cancer, in trine to Saturn in Pisces. So once again, the focus right now, the energy we put in right now is in emotions, creative self-expression, and there's a lot of things surrounding emotions. Like, we can grow very close to someone, but we can grow very apart with someone if, again, this isn't right for you. So Jupiter and Mercury are in conjunction to Taurus. Venus is in Taurus. So Venus feels good in Taurus, and Moon feels sort of good in Libra, even though like it feels better in Taurus. A lot, I mean, and it's in conjunction to Uranus. I mean, I'm surprised if a lot of people just haven't suddenly, is the world ending or like what's going on, but like a lot of people suddenly just met their soulmates, you know, suddenly like just, you know, going out, or could be, you know, some people find each other on the internet. And it's okay, because the internet is actually a good way to date today as well. Like it's not all that bad, you know. But the what was I gonna say as well? Like this is such a karmic. This is such a strong connection, such a karmic full moon. It's literally reflecting. Yes, you need to work on yourself, and yes, you need to find healing, or you need to heal through this partnership, or you need to really let go. And it's like this is coming up so strong though. This is like you really kind of need to stop making yourself so miserable, because you just don't deserve it, you know. If you're in a relationship that just doesn't really make you happy, it's really pointless to stay in one. Another thing that I really want to point out, obviously the themes of love are so high at the moment. I mean, whew, so high at the moment. I can see, so the south node is in Scorpio, and the north node, so Venus made its way through the north node. And I mean honestly, even this Easter weekend, if people don't meet someone significant, I would be very surprised that if nothing happens. But for some people nothing happens because their time isn't right, or they don't put themselves in the right position to attract something they want. So this is definitely the best way to the best full moon to really nourish interpersonal relationship, bring on to balance to interpersonal relationships, to bring healing, and to be able to connect really well. You know, or if not, or if you're single, for example, it's a good day to just look after yourself and do a lot of work with yourself, so you can be ready for that next step. Um, So yeah, the cards have spoken. The natal chart has spoken. The only danger has to be of the only thing I want to warn about. This is a very positive full moon. It was very dramatic. It was very intense. It's like the full moon in Libra. It kind of like I feel like a lot of places lost balance suddenly. Like in a way, like with the trying to bring so much balance and harmony, like the balance was just disrupted suddenly. And I feel that was mostly disrupted because of bad interpersonal relationships, or like arguments and fight within an actual romantic relationship. They kind of like there was a loss of balance in between. Also, there was two extremes of the situation, either meeting your soulmate very suddenly and coming together and suddenly feeling like you need to come together, or just like this complete like coldness and disruption that happened, that kind of walking away from that person that no longer serves you. But there's another thing coming, and it's a new relationship. It's a new romantic opportunity, and it's on the horizon. But as I said, what needs to happen, walking away, and what needs to happen is stop making yourself feel so trapped, because you're not. You can always get out of any situation. um, Sometimes it's really difficult, and I understand there's certain circumstances that don't really they work against you, and sometimes you have to wait a little bit. But I feel like already you're so sick of it, like you're so drained. You're like, oh, the hell with this, I just want it to end. That's how it feels from this card. I mean, I don't think this card would, as you can tell, like, I don't think it would pop out if you were so happy to wait, if you know what I mean. It's just what's meant to happen right now. um you, you need someone who makes you feel very very young at heart. Someone you can be playful with, someone you can laugh with, you know, someone you can kind of obviously takes life serious with, but who can kind of awaken that like inner child that needs to be healed with that opposition between Chiron and the moon. um so that's it for now. If I have anything else to say, I will say it in another video. I have a few ideas that I want to do. I want to analyze more charts, and I'm getting a bit tired now. Um, so yeah, that's all. That's all for tonight. And please do a ritual. Do a love ritual to attract your soulmate, because it, like, literally the universe could be sending it very quickly right now. It could be very, very quick. you know um but you need to set yourself in the right circumstance. You need to be in the right circumstances, and then you need to radiate with a very vibrant light. You need to be like your vibrant self too, because no one likes someone kind of not authentic, or not being in their light, or not being in their power. um Even though everyone's different and everyone likes different things, of course. But that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to make it a bit shorter this time, but I hope you liked it, and like and subscribe for more, and I'll follow up with a completely new video soon enough. Anyway, good night, and love you all, and take care.